Hello, my name is Chris Stott. I'm the Studies Weekly Regional Manager for Arizona. I love providing fun and impactful resources to help you and your students succeed. Our new K-5 curriculum is the only social studies program that is 100% aligned to the latest K-5 Arizona social studies standards and best meets Paradise Valley Unified School District's requirements for this adoption. Our 6th grade curriculum was not rewritten as it already aligns with Arizona's study of world history and geography and is already in use. We are aligned with the Expanding Horizons framework so students learn content related to self, neighborhood, and school, then their local community, state, and nation. Our core knowledge approach also integrates science, government, history, and mathematics into your ELA block. One of the obvious advantages with Studies Weekly is the price. It costs just $6.85 per student per year for the whole program, which includes printed periodicals paired with an amazing online platform. Let's look at everything that's included in that price. Studies Weekly includes 32 weekly units of original articles with English language arts-based activities and deep learning strategies for critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity, character, and citizenship. Students have fun highlighting and cutting up the printed publications for graphic organizers and projects. Plus, our engaging online content includes thousands of primary source documents, images, and original videos. Text can be highlighted and annotated for comprehension and retention, and our fun game-based learning options increase student engagement. Your Arizona publications include units on creating inquiries, analyzing evidence, communicating conclusions, and taking action. The weekly lessons are organized around essential questions and various topics from history. Studies Weekly is ADA compliant and meets their web content guidelines. Articles are accessible for users with color blindness and include audio reader narration with variable speeds. Our videos are closed captioned and many are available both in English and Spanish. We want you to succeed. That's why our lesson plans are research-based, aligned to the standards, and can be differentiated for individual student needs. Units can be organized and arranged according to your pacing guides. Each article is Lexile certified, and word counts are provided in the teacher edition for Tier 1, 2, and 3 instruction and intervention support. Lesson resources and instructional strategies for English language development are scaffolded for each student's language level. Varied DOK level prompts facilitate deep learning for a greater range of cognitive demand. The Think Deeply section of the lesson plan also provides opportunities for students to extend their learning beyond the classroom as they apply and transfer their knowledge to problem solving and further discovery opportunities. Formative and summative assessments are also included for every unit. Each article has up to 3 multiple choice assessment questions included. Each week includes a summative assessment that can be edited to match the learning objectives and needs of your students, like those with IEPs and 504 plans. Our online reports allow teachers and administrators to collect useful performance data on individual students, classrooms, and schools, identify students at risk, and improve teacher instruction. Studies Weekly is your partner from the moment of purchase, so you and your students are truly successful. Through the life of the adoption, you can customize your professional development with onboarding support, in-person or remote training, thought leadership seminars, and on-demand training videos. The Studies Weekly online learning platform is web-based and works on any workstation and web browser, so students can access it on a desktop computer, a laptop, tablet, or smartphone. We meet all of the district's technology, security, single sign-on, and rostering requirements, and we support multiple integrations. Within Studies Weekly Online, access is provided based on the user's role, whether student, parent, teacher, principal, or district administrator. District administrators can view reports at the district, school, or classroom level. Principals can view learning materials and aggregated classroom performance reports. Teachers manage their online classroom units, tests, and reports. You can even switch between the teacher and student view to see what your students see. Students can interact and learn online by reading, highlighting, and listening to articles, analyzing images and primary sources, viewing videos, and taking tests. You can also boost engagement through gamification. Parents have their own login tied to their student's account, where they can view learning materials and assessment results for their child. Studies Weekly provides digital and face-to-face professional development with high-quality training that models in-classroom use of your new curriculum. Teachers learn how to share the stories of history through high-impact strategies. You will receive hands-on training in guiding student-centered learning through primary and secondary sources and inquiry-based lessons. A 2-hour webinar is all you'll need to get up and running, but we encourage you to participate in our ongoing training sessions and our quarterly thought leadership webinars to maximize your experience. Technical support through phone, email, and instant messaging is available weekdays from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Again, for just $6.85 per student per year, you get 32 engaging and colorful weekly print periodicals, a robust online platform where your students will delve deeper into history through thousands of primary source images and videos, a print and online teacher edition, classroom rostering, professional development, and free shipping. At these prices, you will definitely want to try Studies Weekly and see why it's the perfect fit for you. So we have already set up online access for you. To view a teacher account, go to studiesweekly.com/online and type in PVTeacher as the username and Paradise Valley for the password. But let me give you a sneak peek right now so you can get excited about how social studies will look for you next year. So now let's take a look at some of the features of Studies Weekly Online. To view a teacher account, go to studiesweekly.com/online and type in PVTeacher as the username and Paradise Valley for the password. First, click Login. Once you've logged in, you're going to see a series of publications that appear before you. You'll see them appear kindergarten through 6th grade. You can sort the publications here if you needed or wanted to. Across the top, you'll see publications, classes, PD training, and extras. In a moment, we'll come back and we'll talk about these other tabs here at the top. We are going to start with publications. So I'm going to go down to 4th grade. We could click into any of the publications. The 4-way arrow here allows you to move the weeks. So if you felt like it was important to teach week 6 in the week 2 position, I would grab the 4-way arrow, move it up and drop it, and now it's in the week 2 position. Because your students are connected to you, when they log in, they're going to see week 6 in the week 2 position as well. Moving over to the right under the off-on column, you'll see a series of toggle switches that are green and red. I can turn all of the weeks off so that they don't show to my students, or I can turn them all on at one time. Some teachers prefer to have all of the weeks off and then turn them on individually week by week. That's up to you. Over further to the right is the Activate test. The same would apply. I can turn globally all of the weeks off, or I can turn all of the tests on. Seems like most teachers prefer to have all of the weeks off, and then they turn the weeks on week by week when they're ready to have their students take their test. I'm going to scroll down to the very, very bottom after week 32. And you'll notice down at the bottom, resources for this publication is the standards correlation. So if I'd like to see the 4th grade standards by week and what we cover, I can click on it. And then just over to the right, the Arizona 4th grade scope and sequence. I also can click on that and open and see each week at a glance. That opens in a PDF that allows you to be able to print it as well if you would like. Now I've scrolled back up to the very top. So we're going to click on week 1, government. Now if we had week 1 sitting in front of us right now in the print edition, we would see that the text and the images are the same. By the way, we leave all of our images and our videos open so that your students can click on them, they can download them. If you've gotten to a point where you're asking your students to turn in reports digitally, they now can embed these images and videos directly into those reports, and then they can cite and source. For their bibliography, they can cite and source Studies Weekly. Over here on the left is each of the articles that you would find in the print edition. Currently, we have selected voting and elections. And again, here is the article itself and then the accompanying image. You can click on that image to make it larger if you'd like, to highlight it if you're speaking just to the image. And then I click Escape to put that image back into its spot. Up here across the top, there's lots going on. We always want to know what your feedback is on this article. So you'll see here that there's a star rating. 1 through 5 stars. If you rate anything less than 5 stars for this particular article, we'll want to know why. What didn't you like about it? And we value your feedback. We do want to hear from you. That information gets taken and it does get reviewed, and future publications and changes are made based on that feedback that is given. Just to the right of that is the reader mode, this 4 square here. When you click on that, it kind of takes out the noise that you saw there, and now you're only seeing the publication, the actual image, and then the ability to click play on the article. Underneath that, if you are a teacher that likes to embed Google Classroom, you can do so. We have a Google Classroom integration embedded right into Studies Weekly Online. To the right of that, you now have the ability to click play.
A representative democracy is a type of government.
And you can listen to that article be read aloud. And you'll notice that there's a few things that are happening. One, it's a live voice. And the live voice, we always have real actors reading our articles. It's never computerized. Also, you'll notice that the cursor moved from left to right in purple. This allows kids with color blindness to be able to see each one of those words as it is highlighted. Also, to the right, you'll notice that there's this little turtle. The turtle allows the student to either slow down or speed up the article as it is being read aloud. So you'll notice to the right is the watch video icon. In clicking on the watch video icon, you'll notice that this video pops up, and this is a great way to get your kids excited and engaged in the content that they're about to learn about. These are quick, engaging videos. They're only a couple minutes long, and the kids really seem to enjoy them. To the right of that is the Explore More button. This Explore More button is populated with videos and images to help you supplement your lesson. We don't want teachers to have to spend their time on nights and weekends going to other resources to try and find supplemental content. I click the back arrow to take me back to the page where we just were. I'm going to scroll down. Over on the left-hand side, there are a couple of games. There's a crossword and there's also misspelled. The crossword, when it comes up, takes the vocabulary from the week and allows the kids digitally to complete the crossword puzzle. Just beneath that is another fun game called Misspelled. I even see teachers playing this game, and Misspelled is kind of a play on words for misspelled, and you have the vocabulary words floating around and allowing the kids to drop the vocabulary word into the proper bucket, whether it's spelled correctly or incorrectly. As I continue to scroll down underneath, you'll notice that there's a series of questions. These questions that we've embedded can be used in several different ways. If you have kids that are together, you might have them in small groups or a whole group with you as the teacher going through these discussion type questions, or the students might be answering these individually. In any case, the person that's answering them is actually earning these coins. Right here that I'm pointing to, this is Revere. Revere is our mascot, and as the kids earn coins, they're able to spend those coins in a couple of different games that we have. So the kids are really incentivized to go in and read the articles and to answer the questions. These are also great discussion starter questions that you as a teacher can use with your classroom and whole group. I'm going to scroll just a little bit further down, and you'll notice that some of the resources down here at the bottom are in this kind of light green turquoise, and some are in dark blue. The light green changes every week, and the resources are updated based on the week that you're in. Just below that are the dark blue resources. These remain static and do not change from week to week. We just don't want you as a teacher to have to keep going out and then back in to find the resources, so we make them readily available. I encourage you to go in and look through these resources. You're going to find some incredible instructional strategies that you can implement immediately in the classroom. I'm going to quickly run through just a few of these, but please take some time on your own to go through them. The first one is the lesson plan. We provide very robust lesson plans. You get a PDF, you can print this out, you can save it digitally if you'd like to. But quickly, it goes through the standards alignment, cross-disciplinary integration. The student curriculum includes, you have the bullet points there, teacher resources, deep learning knowledge, skills, and dispositions, and then well-being support. That is something new that we have embedded into our materials this year, looking at the whole child, the social, emotional, physical, and overall well-being of the student. Interactive notebooks, inquiry-based instruction. You'll really appreciate the inquiry-based activities that embedded inside of Studies Weekly. And you'll notice as I'm scrolling through here that we have the essential questions think deeply. Now, as I've scrolled all the way down, you can see Article 1, and it is actually giving you the Lexile level and the word count, and then ultimately the lesson plan. So take some time and go through and look at the lesson plan. And again, you're welcome to save that, to print it out, but it also comes in your hard copy teacher edition that we ship to you each year of your adoption. So I'm going to go back a page, and because that opened a new tab, and I'm going to continue. Here is the week 1 assessment in print, but we're going to go back and we'll look at it electronically in just a moment. Content videos just underneath that. Instead of going through each article one at a time to see what videos are included, if you click on content videos, you'll be able to see an aggregate of all of the videos that we include in that specific week. You'll also be able to tell which videos are available in both English and in Spanish. Underneath that is worksheets and graphic organizers. These are great PDFs that you're able to print out. And then underneath the turquoise bars, we're going to drop down into K6 General Resources. The first one I'm going to click on is Lesson Resources. Under Lesson Resources, you'll notice a whole list of instructional strategies that can be implemented in the classroom. Many of them are denoted with ELD strategy. These are great instructional strategies that can be implemented during ELD time. All of these are downloadable. If at any time you open one of these and you're uncertain on how to implement it in the classroom, don't worry. Click on PD Training. Once that is open, click on Instructional Strategies, and you'll see a whole host of videos that are giving instruction on how to implement that instructional strategy in the classroom. So you notice there's a lot of them in here. You can filter them, just come up here to the field. For example, if you're looking for the primary source analysis tool, start typing primary, and it will automatically populate. Up at the top under the PD Training tab, one other item I'd like to show you is how to use Studies Weekly. Sometimes you might have a specific question about a certain feature or how to do something inside of Studies Weekly. Click on that icon. Again, you can search up here at the top in the area that says Filter, and you'll see all these great videos that we have created and PDFs that we've created to help support you in your use of Studies Weekly online. I'm going to click back a couple pages and go back up to the very top of the page. And let's say that we have now finished week 1, we've completed it, and it's time to give the assessment. So what do? The simplest thing to do is to start over here under Actions, and we're going to edit the test. You might be ready and willing to implement the test as it sits currently, or you might want to make some adjustments to it. Maybe you didn't complete the entire week. Maybe there's a couple questions that you would like to change. Maybe you need to make some accommodations. In any case, you have full control over what that test looks like. Right here on the right, you'll notice it says Edit. If I click on Edit, I can remove the question entirely. I can change some of the responses. I can also rewrite the question. And if I'd like to add new questions, when I click on Add New Question, you'll notice that you can do multiple choice, true, false, open-ended, check all that apply, sorting, matching, fill in the blank, and labeling. So just about any type of assessment question you'd like to ask, we give you the ability to be able to do that. If you'd like to randomize the test questions, you can turn this toggle switch to green. Same test, just in a different order. Once the test has been completed, I probably want to go in and see how my kids did. So if you click on Test Scores up here at the top in the light blue bar, I can go through and I can see at a glance. Now this is a demo account. Normally I can scroll down here. I can see all of the responses, exactly how the student responded, whether they got the question correct or incorrect. I can print the tests out. I can email the tests home to the parents if I would like. And I can also allow retakes. So if that's something that you allow in your classroom, I would check the box next to the student that I would like to allow the retake for. Or globally, I can choose all of the students in the classroom. I click Allow Retake. Yes, I'd like to allow a retake. And when your student logs into their individual account, they'll be able to take the test again. I can also see test statistics. If I click on Test Statistics, that gives me the ability to see how did we perform as a class overall? How did everyone do? Am I happy with that? Or do we need to maybe go back and revisit some of the content and then retest? That's entirely up to you. When I'm in the article, we went over and we talked about the ability to click play and then adjust the speed. Just under that, when we're looking at the text, students have the ability to highlight text just like any text they would. by click, hold, and drag. When I let go, it's going to bring up this color palette. I can choose any of the colors in the color palette that I would like. In this case, I'll choose yellow. And then I'm going to, as the student, now I'm acting as the student, I'm going to type in a note. Mrs. Smith, you asked me to find the main idea of the story. Or maybe I'm looking for all of the nouns or the verbs. Whatever it is, obviously this can be scaled by grade level. So I've typed that in, I click save. After I've done that, you as the teacher have this link up here at the top. It says highlights. It's going to open a page showing you all of your students, exactly what they highlighted, and any notations that they made. And again, this can be done in real time, especially now where many of us are working in a distance learning environment with our students. In real time, this would give you the ability to give an assignment, have the students complete it, and then you can go in here and see what students completed it, what their responses were, and whether the students were able to complete the request as you outlined. Classes gives you the opportunity to manage your classroom. For those districts that decide to use rostering and single sign-on, there won't be any manual update that you'll need to do in here because that will be done nightly as our system interfaces with the student information system and updates. So also the ability to manage parents, manage publications. If you click on Manage Publications, some teachers only want their students to see the publications that correspond directly to them. So if I'm a kindergarten teacher, I may only want my kindergartners to see the kindergarten publication. So therefore, I would turn all of the publications off except for kindergarten, and I would leave that one on. But that's strictly preference. That's up to you. One feature that many teachers like is the ability to see what a student sees. A simple way to do that is to go up to the top, click on Classes, then Manage Students. Here are all the students in my class, keeping in mind that this is a demo account, so there's only a few students. But if I scroll all the way over to the right, I can click this little mask, and that allows me to log in as a student, allowing me to see what that particular student in my classroom sees when they log in. And you'll notice that it's a much more basic view for the student to be able to see their publications. They see their publications. If you click on that, and then it shows their progress on each one of those publications as they have completed each one of the articles. While I'm still in the Classes tab, if I scroll over to the far right, you're going to see Reports. Reports gives you an at-a-glance view of each one of your students, the last time they logged in, their average test score, number of tests taken, so on and so forth, allowing you to see your kids that are most engaged in Studies Weekly Online. Underneath Extras, I'm still here at the top, we have a series called Interviews. Now, these are wonderful women and men that we have interviewed. We have internment camp survivors, civil rights activists, veterans that are all in our interview series. And as you scroll through here, you'll see a large library of these amazing interviews that we've done with these individuals. I'm going to go back up to the top and click on Extras. When I do, I'm going to scroll down to Project Time. So even though you don't currently use us for our science materials, you will have access to all of our science videos and images created for our science curriculum. Underneath that is Field Trips. When I click on Field Trips and that loads, I'll be able to see a great collection of field trips that we have done around the nation. You'll notice that if I wanted to go to the Castillo de San Marcos in Florida, or the Provo Reclamation, or to see much of our civil rights history, I can do that by clicking on any of these videos. These are short, engaging videos. They're beautiful, very well done, and teachers and students really appreciate the content. A little bit further underneath that, you'll see our new K2 video library that we have done. So take some time and scroll through and explore the new K2 videos that we have. I mentioned earlier that we always want to hear from you. So much of what we do with Studies Weekly Online is because of teacher feedback. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll see the feedback button and Get Help button. This feedback button is a little bit different than the one that I showed you earlier. The feedback I showed you earlier was specific to that article. This feedback button is so that you can give us any generalized feedback that you'd like to give us. Over on the left-hand side as well is the Get Help button. Please reach out to us when you need help. You can reach out to us by sending us a message, by instant messaging with us, or by calling us. Up at the top, we have a very powerful search tool. The search tool allows you to search our entire library of resources for articles, videos, audios, and images. I'm going to do a search for the keyword president. When I do a search for president, down the center you're going to see a list of every article in Studies Weekly that contains the word president. Every article shown gives the publication and week where the article is found. On the left-hand side, I'm able to filter by grade level. If I'm a second grade teacher, for example, I might only want to see the second grade results. Further down on the left-hand side, you're able to see all of the different media items like videos, audios, and images for the keyword president. All of this work has been done for you so that you don't have to search outside of Studies Weekly for content to supplement your lessons. So one of the interviews that I have found very impactful is Bud Bonham. Bud Bonham is a World War II veteran, and when he tells his story, it's just so impactful. All of us can learn a story and we can retell it, but we can't retell it like that person can do in first person. So this video is called The War is Over. It's about 53 seconds long. Take just a moment and watch this video and see how the conversation in your classroom might change after watching a video as opposed to just telling the story.
The best moment for me in the war was when we were out on patrol. It was a 6,000-yard patrol. We were to go out, bivouac, and come back the next day. And while we were out, we had a 300 radio with us, and they called us up and said the war was over. Apologize.
One of the amazing pieces of Studies Weekly that so many teachers and students enjoy is the ability to cut the materials up. So I quickly want to just show you an aggregate of materials, student artifacts that have been made. Now this is at an external website. That's smore.com/2xc0u. And again, this is outside of Studies Weekly. This is one of my colleagues that's put this together. But if you scroll through, you'll see these great artifacts of materials that have been cut up and manipulated. That's just a standard notebook. And all of these are taking our materials, cutting out the images. You'll notice that these can be scaled up or down, kindergarten all the way on up. This is a really fun one here, a puppet show with Rosa Parks and Dr. King, and being able to put some of the notes on the back side of those popsicle sticks to help the students as they're performing it. So take some time and visit the website and scroll through to see some of the great examples of hands-on projects that students and teachers are doing with the print publications. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact me directly at area code 801-301-0033 or by email at chris.stott@studiesweekly.com. So get started at studiesweekly.com/online, enter the username PVTeacher and the password Paradise Valley, and dive in and check us out. Don't forget, the username and password are lowercase. I look forward to partnering with you throughout this adoption process and helping you and your students succeed.